Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed... What was that? That was a little bit weird. That was like an invisible drum roll or something. I'm really sorry about that. But we are indeed, of course, going to be discussing some more lovely news from E3 2015. And if you didn't know what E3 is, of course, E3 is the convention once a year that happens that really, we get lots and lots of cool news coming out about a whole bunch of video games. And that is no different for the game that we will be discussing today, and that is, of course, Disney Infinity 3.0, and that is, of course, the Star Wars edition. But there isn't only Star Wars things to discuss. If you're excited about just the Disney side of things, stick around as well. So, this is probably part 1 of 2 in terms of what I will be doing for Disney Infinity in terms of updates for E3, because I'm sure there will be still more to come. But for this video specifically, I just wanted to discuss, of course, the confirmation of the Rebel figures coming out, which I believe came out right the day before E3 started. I just never actually discussed it, so now we will have a confirmation, and I'll show you guys the actual figures, so I'm excited about that. We'll discuss, of course, the new trailer for Rise Against the Empire, which is awesome. The PlayStation exclusive, which was really cool to see. PlayStation exclusive collector's edition, so stick around for that as well. And then also some packaging photos of some of the Disney Infinity figures. Now, if I ever look over to this side, guys, I just have everything in a Word file just to make sure that I don't forget everything, because there's lots and lots to run through. So don't worry, I'm not like trying to ignore you or anything. So nonetheless, let's kick things off, of course, with, as I mentioned before, Star Wars Rebels, which, by the way, I'm on episode 3 right now, and that show is great. Like, I don't know why some of my friends were like, dude, it's a pretty awful show. I don't know what they were watching. I'm enjoying it. Nonetheless, I'm getting off topic here. Let's discuss the Rebels figures that are now official. So here we are. We have, of course, 4 figures coming from Rebels, at least at this point in time. You never know. Maybe we'll get some more in the future. But we'll be getting Sabine and Zeb, who look absolutely awesome. I really like the design on Zeb in terms of just how he looks in terms of presence. Like, as a figure, he's just like really bulky and cool looking. But I love how Sabine has the helmet, the clone trooper helmet, and she's crushing it down with her foot. Like, that's just a really cool piece of detail, and I really do like it quite a bit. How many times did I say really? A lot. Additionally to that, of course, we also do have Kanan, or was it Kanan? No, I believe it was Kanan. And of course, the main hero, Ezra himself. Both of them looking pretty cool. I really like the pose of Ezra. The only thing is that I feel like he looks a little bit similar to the Luke Skywalker figure that we're getting. Like, the pose itself is just very oddly similar. So I'm not sure if I'm too happy about that, because I kind of want to make sure that the figures feel different and don't have such an overlap. But then again, I guess when we're dealing with lightsabers, there isn't like a lot of poses that they could do without, like, you know, maybe having them on one foot or something, or like jumping, which would be kind of cool to see, to be honest. But unfortunately, I think that would be kind of unsafe in terms of the figures breaking. So I think that's why some of the poses may be overlapping or looking very similar. Nonetheless, all 4 figures look absolutely great. I think they look fantastic. I think they did a great job of nailing, once again, the Disney Infinity aesthetic along with the art style of the show, the original content. So I think that that's great, and I think that this is a fantastic lineup of characters. Now, speaking of characters and lineups, I guess more so box lineups. You can line up the boxes. That was a terrible segue. But what we'll be discussing, guys, is actually the boxed pictures. Now, these are the European and the UK versions of the packages. I really don't see them being any different in the US. Of course, in Canada, I believe we're just going to get this, but then also have a French version of all the information that is on the boxes. And these look absolutely awesome. So let's run through these one by one. First and foremost, we have, of course, Mickey, Minnie, and Olaf. I have them all bunched up in kind of a trifecta going on there. I think the packaging looks phenomenal. I know it's a weird thing, but I really do like advertising and kind of like looking at that side of things, like what went into that thought process, like how did they design it and everything. Because I think they did a great job of saying, like, hey, these are Disney themed characters this time around, but they still kept the kind of purpley colors, or like the space-like motif on the top and on the bottom of the package, and that signifies to you that this is the 3.0 expansion and this is the Star Wars edition. Like, they definitely put the Star Wars feel into all the packages, which is awesome. So I'm absolutely stoked about that. Out of those ones, out of the 3 there, I think Olaf is the coolest looking one. I just really like the art style there, and he looks phenomenal. Next up, let's move on to packaged versions of course, the figures from Inside Out, or the 3 figures that don't come in the Inside Out playset, and that is, of course, Disgust, Sadness, and Fear. And those 3 figures, look pretty cool. Of course, we saw them out of packaging before. Now we have them in packaging. Interesting that they all have the same background. I kind of think it would have been cool if they did like something cooler in terms of like sadness. Could have had maybe like, you know, upset smiley faces. Disgust could have had like, I don't know. In my opinion, it would have been really cool if their backgrounds would have been emotes, like of their specific emotion. So like, you know how when you're texting or something like that, you have like special emoticons. Sorry, I can't talk already. I've been recording for a while now. But special emoticons that then signify that specific emotion. I think it would be really cool if they did that. I don't know. Do you guys agree? Let me know in the comment section below. And then lastly, and this was a bit of a surprise because I actually didn't see them revealing Mulan. I mean, I knew that we were going to get, of course, Korra and Sam Flynn. But Mulan, I don't know how I missed that. Like, that is awesome. That's one of my favorite Disney movies. I think it's a very underrated one, at least from my childhood. Again, I watched it, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty cool movie, very unique, and it was cool because it kind of explored like a completely different culture, which is really nice. So I'm stoked about that. Mulan looks absolutely fantastic. That's probably my favorite out of those three. So now that we got that out of the way, let's discuss the PlayStation exclusive collector's edition. Now, this thing is going to be retailing for $115 in the US, or $114.99 in the US. I'm probably guessing in Canada that's probably going to end up being like 130-ish, and then I'm not really sure how that converts into pounds or any other currencies in the world. But this is a pretty interesting thing because this collector's edition doesn't have anything in comparison to the last collector's edition that we got, like Disney Infinity 2.0. If you remember, we got that really cool Frost Giant statue, and then you put the Avengers on the front and Loki on the back. That was a pretty cool collector's edition, and that was one that was available across platforms, meaning you could get it either on your Microsoft systems or your Sony systems and so on and so forth. This is going to be specifically set to the PS4 and of course to the PlayStation, systems, and I believe that this of course means that then it's also going to be available for PS3, because I think it's a Sony exclusive. I don't think it's a PlayStation 4 exclusive, from what I recall at least. I should have checked, but I'm pretty sure it's PlayStation 4 and 3. I'm almost 100% certain. Like, I'd probably like go 95% certainty on that. Nonetheless, what's in it? Well, basically what they decided to do with this particular collector's edition is, instead of giving you like a cool statue or something like that, they just said, hey, if you buy this game, this collector's edition, on a Sony platform, what you're going to gain is access to characters early and playsets early. So basically, the big shtick or the big appeal of this whole thing is that A, you get to play Boba Fett early, which is awesome. And of course, they showed Boba Fett, who looks absolutely incredible. So Boba Fett being the early inclusive figure, I think that's going to really persuade a lot of people to choose this particular package, because everybody loves Boba Fett, including myself. So I'm definitely stoked about this, definitely want to check it out. But the really cool thing is that, again, you get Boba Fett here early, and I believe you get him 30 days early, from what I recall. No, was it? I'm pretty sure it was 30 days early. Alrighty guys, sorry about that interruption there. I just wanted to clarify the Boba Fett details and information. Didn't want to misrepresent or give you wrong information in that regard. But basically, from what I've been able to gather, is that at this point in time, when I'm recording this, Boba Fett hasn't been announced to come out in terms of specific dates. So he's actually going to be coming out, from what I understand, in a single pack sometime later in 2016, which is a pretty significant delay. Like, that's interesting that there's going to be such a big time span between when you can get him in this collector's edition versus when you can get him on a single blister pack and such. That's kind of intriguing, like that they are able to take such a long period of time with that. Pretty cool. And I guess it's going to motivate a lot of people to buy this game or this set of games on the Sony system. Now, the other thing that is kind of cool though is that, of course, don't forget the figures are cross-compatible. So if you have a buddy who buys the collector's edition for Sony and you only own an Xbox, he or she can still come over and use that character in your game, because it's not like it will only work on Sony systems. It will still be applicable to your game, which is no issue. So keep that in mind. Now, additionally to that, of course, the other thing that is included in this package is not only the Star Wars Twilight of the Republic playset, but you'll also get the Star Wars Rise Against the Empire playset. And I believe this you get earlier, like basically this you will end up getting 2 months earlier or 3 months. I mean, the problem is they haven't confirmed their release date yet, from what I recall, so we don't know specifically when it's actually coming out yet. I mean, the rumor is, of course, August. So it's expected that the next playset, this Rise Against the Empire playset, is actually going to be coming out in holiday time. So probably October, November. So you're getting it, depending on the launch date, a few months early. So again, basically the incentive here is that, hey, if you are really, really psyched to play these things and you want to play them as early as possible, this is your best bet, is to choose it on a Sony platform and to get access to Boba Fett early and to get access to the second playset early. And that's a pretty cool motif. I think it's interesting that they're not trying to do some sort of statue. I almost would have preferred to see something a little bit more unique to just like signify that, hey, you got that early, or you got that collector's edition. Because here, basically all you're getting is something early. So when, let's say, a few years down the line, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I bought that collector's edition of Disney Infinity 3. Oh really? What do you have to show for it? It's the same figures as everybody else can own at this point. So I just find it interesting that they didn't put something in there. And I don't know, maybe they will end up saying like, hey, you're gonna get like a art print or something unique. I really would prefer that. I think that's kind of what makes it a collector's edition, is not just getting stuff early, but getting something that's unique to that specific package. Then again, that may just be me. Nonetheless, I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of Disney Infinity 3.0 so far. Are you guys excited? Are you not? What are you excited about most? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, guys, I will indeed catch you lovely folks next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators.